quick build update for you. I have not mixed any epoxy yet. I have not glued one thing on the rigger yet. The reason for that is I'm struggling with the choice of using the stock motor mount or this Offshore Electrics motor mount with rear support. And I need to make this decision before I start epoxying the tub together, because the stock motor mount gets epoxied in the tub. It interlocks in the tub. I had someone comment on my channel that they've hung this exact motor, the TP Power 4070 100 millimeter long can, off the stock motor mount. So that's not the issue, although I like the fact that I gain the support with using this mount. What I cannot live with is trying to put these 6 screws in this stock motor mount down here, inside here, versus this Offshore Electrics 4 screws. It's a top loading mount. You can remove your motor if you need to work on it. So I had to decide that early on in the build, so you don't paint yourself in a corner, so to speak. Some other things that I had to figure: I have this set, it's adjustable, the angle, so I have it set at the same angle as the stock motor mount, and I'm going to locate it in the same place, and I'll show you what that does for me. I've also made some modifications to the battery tray, and I have it figured out, my layout, where all my electronics are going to go. Locating the motor with this Offshore Electrics motor mount, same location in the tub, front to back, and on the same angle, means I don't have to modify anything as far as this former and this slot that's cut in the bottom of the tub. So I've bought the pre-bent stuffing tube. So where this comes up through the bottom inside the ski, I don't have to modify anything with that. And with it located front to back right here, I have room for a prop saver on the prop shaft. Get a reading on the angle of the motor, matching the stock motor mount. Rather steep, I think. It's a touch over 18 degrees. 18.2. Here's a curious thing. Using this Offshore Electrics motor mount and keeping the motor in the stock position, so nothing changes with the interface with the stuffing tube and the flex cable, means I'm going to have to drill a hole through the motor mount for the brass sleeve that goes through the tub for the boom tube, the rear boom tube. A couple other things to note that I'm looking at here. It's how these wires will lay, the motor wires, and the coolant lines won't kink. They got enough room to make a nice relaxed bend. I'm going to be running these 2 wires here over the motor, and they will plug into my Y harness, which will come through here, go back to the batteries. And by moving the ESC up front, gives me room for full adjustment up to where the stuffing tube comes out. I can move my batteries front to back to adjust the center of gravity for how the boat runs and how it runs in different water conditions. Here's the last detail I had to work out. I wanted to lower the battery tray. So you can see in this picture dimensions on how much I cut off these cross pieces. Here's a picture of the assembly pin to my bench. So I've lowered it as far as I can with just enough room for the straps to fit under the battery tray. And here's a picture with it in the tub. In this picture you can see I have plenty of room for the batteries to fit under the lid. So I'm ready to start gluing everything together. Just had to work out these details. There's no sense moving forward, at least in my mind, until I had these details worked out. So still has the exact same appearance of the stock battery tray, but can fit 5,000 milliamp hour battery packs under the lid. So those are details I felt like I had to figure out before I started mixing epoxy. And I think that's how it is when you're stuffing a 6S powerhouse in a tub this size. So next video, pretty sure we'll have some parts glued together.